Hello YouTube, ladies and gentlemen, gamers around the world, welcome back. Today we have another How to Play FFA. I'm your host, Nashnate888, and before we get started into this Abbasid How to Play, I have a small request. Once again guys, please hit that like and subscribe button, I do appreciate it. We are, I realized we reached our 3,000 hours watched limit, or requirement for YouTube. So we're getting there, we're getting places. We just need to get our subscriber count up to 500 or so then we can start making stuff happen for me. So really appreciate it guys, thank you very much. Anyways, let's get into this game. We are Abbasid, and as you guys know, this is one of the strongest civs in FFA, most likely if you've seen any of my other Abbasid videos. They're very strong. So I found a nice little spot here. There's wood, berries, and gold, which would have been fine. But I saw deer here, and of course, I mean, I've mentioned this before, berries are fine for Abbasid and other civs. But if you ever find deer, it's just better, right? Like in this situation, both of these spots were great. We have a mountain protecting us on one side. I know we have lumber here, we have gold right next to us, and even stone here with this spawn, so a little bit better with the stone and the deer right next to us, of course. So we decided to relocate here. But anyways, let's get into this. So whenever you're playing as Abbasid, there's basically, I think there's two ways to play depending on the map you're going on. If you're going on land mega random, or you're not going on water for whatever reason, you're gonna want to go into Eco Wing, right? First off, you can get those extra town centers. Now, I've mentioned usually 2 town centers at a minimum for most civs. If you aren't completely surrounded, you know, if you can afford it, if you can get away with it. But for Abbasid, if you go into Eco Wing, you can get cheaper town centers. Kind of like Jushi's Legacy with the Song Dynasty, you get cheaper, but it's not just reducing the wood, it's reducing the wood and the stone cost. So usually I would say a minimum of 3 town centers with Eco Wing for Abbasid. Now if you're completely alone on the map, you can do even more. You can do up to, like, I would say 3 to 5. 5 being the maximum you probably want to ever do, but you know, I've seen some people do villager only rushes with Abbasid, which are kind of funny. So you could try that with even more town centers if you wanted to meme, to troll around. But for playing seriously, I think 5 is the maximum you're gonna want to build. Now, and there's one more thing we're gonna talk about here in a minute. So this player is cleverly saving this king for later, it seems. But that one we'll talk about later. Now, there's another thing I want to talk about, which is sniping enemy kings early on in the game. Obviously, that is very ideal if you can get an early king snipe and there's no one threatening you with aggression. You know, that means that you can push to like Imperial Age right away, right? You don't have to worry about getting a kill in Castle Age or something like that. And it also, you know, reduces the number of threats around you. So if you can get a free kill really early on in the game, I definitely recommend that over having to push somebody in feudal or castle. It's just, even if you lose, even if you get a little bit behind, we're gonna see this play out in a second here in this game. Let's speed things up here as we get. I'm not gonna look at the whole map yet. I'm just gonna look at things from my perspective to show you guys what I'm talking about here. So I've got a lot of sheep here with, running along the river here with my scout, which is usually where they spawn on these kinds of maps. But we're about to scout another player here. There's a player, purple, I believe, is going to be up here. Yep, he's on water as well. And let's see here. So we're going to come around. We're seeing what's going on. We see that he has everything he needs. He's looking strong. But we see his king right here, right at our base. So now we know where his town center is. He's all the way, you know, distant from his town center. So I pull the closest 7 villagers I have. 7 villas are about what you need to guarantee a surround on a king. So because this guy was so far away from his base, we recognize the fact that this might be an opportunity for us. So we're looking for the king here. We saw wasn't here with our scouts, so we knew he had to be down here with our vills. And now we're going to be able, if he doesn't get up here, we should be able to get this surround off with these 7 vills. Even the scout here to help block the king a little bit or help surround. Should be an easy take here. What this guy really needed to do was pull his vills as soon as he saw my vills coming. Pull his vills right away and fight to save the king, but he didn't, obviously. He thought he could escape, or he wasn't too worried about it. But, you know, being that far away from your town center, Now, obviously, I'm going to be way behind in a lot of aspects, right, by doing this right here. But I think in a lot of ways it's worth it. I mean, if this player were to get aggressive on me in feudal or something, that could, you know, this might cost me the game, of course. But, you know, he's a little bit farther away, and I think there's other players around. Now we can go and take a look at the whole map, see what's going on. It's a very mountainous map, and this will come into play later as well. But, we see that yellow is right here, messing around with teal. So we're going to be free to kind of kick back and just do our thing here. We're in a really good spot now. We sniped one of the players that probably the one that would have fought us anyways, based on the situation here with teal and yellow. He might have tried to get in here and snipe one of these kings instead as an easier target, but I would be his main threat here, so he would probably fight me, right? So we basically eliminated that opponent for a small investment. Obviously it wasn't nothing, but I think it's a lot less than having to actually fight that player later in the game, right? Now we can sit back. We have 250. We're not worried about securing an early kill as much. We don't have much gold. You can see our position isn't great for gold, but guess what? We're Abbasid, so right, we don't really care that much about gold. Obviously gold is great if we can get it, but Abbasid is one of the few civs that can rely purely on trash units, meaning units that don't cost gold to fight through all stages of the game. So we'll watch these players fight a little bit, but obviously this is a how to play, so we're going to focus more on what I'm doing. So as soon as I got, you know, let's talk about the build real quick. So, you know, we were probably like 6 on you know, the deer here, and then 4. We got our you know, upgrade for the deer right away because we had the mill, and we went 4 on gold after that, and then we get our, you know, eco wing. And then we also, what we forgot to do here, we should have gone, I'm pulling my bills now to fix it because I forgot, but you want to mine 150 extra gold past what you need for your age up. The reason being is you're going to get this upgrade, fresh foodstuffs, and this upgrade, fertile crescent. Both this one reduces your villager cost, and then this one is going to reduce the cost of economic buildings. Primarily the point of this is to get your town center cost reduced, so we're going to upgrade that immediately as soon as we can. Now we have enough gold. Well, we're getting 75 more for this because we forgot, but now we're sorted out. Back to gold, or back to stone and wood. And yeah, normally you just want to leave your like 3 to 5 bills that you have here on gold until you get 150 more, but we forgot. So once you do that, you just fully focus on stone and wood, and you can see now when this upgrade finishes, it's only going to cost 280 wood and 245 stone for yeah, for all that for those town centers. So I'm going to go. In this case, I don't actually think I know about yellow's situation here just yet. I'm about to find out, but just because of like the proximity of teal here, I don't feel too comfortable going up to like 4 or 5 TCs. I think I could have probably got away with it once I realized that yellow and him are going to be fighting here. We will see. We're going to keep an eye on some of these kings throughout the game because there's some weird things that happen later. I kind of want to find out actually what happened, because when I played this game live, there were some odd things that went down with the king snipes. For example, this player never targeted this king for whatever reason. I'm not sure why. I think he's maybe a newer player, as his name is Washed Up Gaming Experience. You can probably agree that he would say the same thing. So hopefully no insult to this player, but he's a little bit washed up, right? He's not going to be the best at figuring out what to do here. He's just fully focused on fighting yellow. And now we realize this. We kind of made a joke about tower defense after seeing. We didn't see all of it yet. I guess there's going to be some more towers up here, some more fighting going on up here later on, which is kind of funny. But I think we could have gone. We went to 3T. We decided to do the 3TC, the standard one. But I think this after scouting yellow's position there and that teal was fighting him, it would have been a safe bet to go 4 to 5 here for sure. So you kind of have to just make that call accordingly. I mean, I knew I was behind too. The other reason I didn't go for 4 or 5 is because I pulled those 7 bills to kill the king here. I knew I was behind, so if anyone decided to pressure me, I would be in a tight spot going if I went up to that many town centers. So I didn't want to do that. I noticed that this king here still wasn't sniped, but we can go ahead and... Well, let's just take a look real quick. Make sure no one else is about to die. So I think yellow's kind of getting surrounded here, but he's holding his own on the water. Red and pink are just chilling back, but we'll focus on what we're doing for a moment. So now that we're, you know, well into our feudal age with our 3 town center pumping, we got a lot on food, obviously. We need at least, like, I would say you want to go up to like 24 on food, so you can get both, keep constant vil production, and you can get enough food to get your 1200, you know, 1200 food for your age up. You're going to go into culturing typically next. Now that's usually what I recommend here, almost always. Because you want this preservation of knowledge, right? You want to get all your technologies, all your age advancements to be way cheaper, right? It's a very great upgrade. And now that we're here, I'm going to talk about real quick. If you're on a water map, if you're on water, you're going to skip economic wing probably, and you're going to go straight into culturing as your first age up, because you don't really need the extra town centers right away. If you have a big water spawn, you know, like a big deep water fish situation, you're just going to go focus on the fish, and then you're going to pump through the ages. You're going to go straight into culture wing first, get this right away in feudal, and then you can get some really easy upgrades and age ups throughout the game, even sooner than you will with the land situation that we're on here. But anyways, that's pretty much it. You'll go in this case we're gonna go military as the 4th age, but you know, if you're doing that other build on the water, you go culture. And it's kind of up to you. If you want to go into military, probably to fight somebody, if there's anyone nearby you, you probably want to go straight into military for castle. But you could also go economic if you're feeling like... Okay, so, hold on. Red got a kill here. Let's take a look. So, red killed, I think the king that was here. Yeah, it just died, it looks like. That's funny. This guy never targeted the king. So, red got the free kill there, unfortunately. I probably, if I had, you know, realized that, I probably could have... that Teal was never going to take that kill. I assumed that he was, because his town center was in range, and there was no reason for me to send units in range there when he can just, you know, right click this, but he just let red have it. So unfortunately, Teal a little bit not too clever. Just let red pick up a free kill. So now red's going to be in a pretty good spot as well. Yeah, he's actually ahead of me right now. He's going into he's in castle, he's on water too. He's got a lot of fishing boats, so he's looking pretty strong in this game. But anyways, we're doing our farm transition now. This is typically where you do it in Castle Age. You'll start to run out of food sources, and you know you want to. Your farms are actually better as Abbasid. You get this upgrade here, the agriculture, 15% from farms. So you want to definitely do a farm transition. Typically, unless you're on deep water, of course. But pretty much, yeah. This is why I like to spread my town centers apart. You can also use mills, but for me, you want to build the town centers closer if you're like worried about someone attacking you. It's better to protect your town centers that way. But if you're not, like I am not, then you can just spread them out and use them as giant mills to, you know, build all your you know, your things around. But you do want to be careful here. As you see, like for example, I'm going to be building all these farms here. So now I have 2 landmarks that are pretty exposed. Since you're Abbasid, you got to always worry about the landmark snipe. This one's free to repairs, which is nice. So you can always just pull all your bills to repair this. Has a lot of health, but you still have to be careful. You only have 2 landmarks, so you want to have some space here for like a keep or something. Just to protect your king and to protect your landmarks. So now that since we got that free kill I mentioned earlier, we're going straight up into Imperial, I believe. We are getting production out now. Okay, no, we're not going straight into Imperial. My mistake, guys. Or we already are. I'm sorry. I'm just a little... I played this game last night. I guess I kind of got lost on what happened. So, as for the choice of units here, I've decided to go into the Camel Archer straight away. This isn't a typical thing you'll do, but since I know I'm low on gold, I'm going to be low on gold this game. I already have a kill. Oftentimes you go, what I'd recommend is getting a lot of barracks and going straight into Gulams. Looks like. Okay, yellow has killed teal somehow. Interesting. Or maybe he just fed the king. But, since I'm going to be short on gold, I'm going straight into a very strong unit in the late game, the Camel Archer. We're already getting it up to elite, actually. The problem here is we're poking out trying to pick on yellow here, but yellow has been fighting a lot. He's been making a lot of men-at-arms. These units aren't particularly good against men-at-arms. They don't really do much to armored units. I mean, once they're fully upgraded, they can do okay. But you can see they're mostly for like lighter units, like spearmen is what they're really good against. But they are, the great thing about them is they don't cost any gold. That's the main reason you make them. They're a free, pretty much a cheap unit that way. But the problem, of course, like I mentioned with our build here, is that we don't really have any great counter. Without gold units, we're not going to have a great counter to men-at-arms. We need either crossbows or our own men-at-arms, right, to kind of contest that, or our own gulams rather. So we're kind of just maxing out here. We've got up to 120 bills already. We want to go even higher. Since we have 250 pop, I would say like maybe 140, 150 bills would be great. And then, of course, at each level you go up, as you get more and more pop, you can increase that number, as we'll see. We might see in this game. I'm not sure what my pop ends up being, but we'll take a look here. So this red player is getting really powerful. You can see in the scoreboard he's pretty high. I mean, I'm really high too now. I'm an Imperial. I'm the first to. Oh, maybe not the first. I didn't see what the timing for Pink. Pink's also just kind of doing what I'm doing. He's got a lot of relics. He's got 5 relics up here. He's looking strong, but he's only 200 pop. Red does have a kill, so Red is going to be doing pretty well. He hasn't quite utilized that pop yet. Neither have I. Now we can see I'm starting to add some crossbows in because I know there's a lot of men-at-arms for yellow here, and we just see a ton. He has actually way more than I even expected him to have. He skipped, for whatever reason, he didn't go into H4. Instead, he made a ton of men-at-arms. He knew he was under threat from me, so it makes sense. But I think as you know, as this Civ, as HRE, it's kind of a mistake not to try to get Swabia or an Elsback out pretty early. If you can manage it. I think Elsback might have been a better defense than all these men-at-arms in some ways, but he does definitely have enough units here to threaten me. But I'm already on top of his town center here. But now we can see all the men-at-arms that he's made. The 97 men-at-arms are coming to defend. So I quickly realized that there's no way I'm going to be able to fight this many men-at-arms just yet. I need a lot more crossbows in order to deal with this. Fortunately, we still have some gold, but you know we are running low, so it's going to be a tough fight. Now we've got, unfortunately, sandwiched by red and yellow. A lot of our units trapped. So things are all of a sudden, they're kind of a mess, right? We went into yellow without really scouting his army composition and size. And we also didn't have any scouting information down here against red. So now we're in a little bit of a tight spot. We really need to get a ton of crossbows out. Fortunately, we're going to have elite crossbows, I believe. Our opponent's still in Castle Age. It's going to be the one saving grace for us here, is that our units are just a lot better than his. Even though he has more, our units are going to be better. And he does have a kill now, so he's 220 supply. So he does actually have a lot more army supply than us. It's just that our army units are going to be a little bit stronger here. But you can see we're still being threatened quite severely here. We have to micro our ranged units back. And we're still getting kind of pushed back here. But we found a nice little choke point here. We used our barracks in the wood line, and we were able to kind of like just decimate his men-at-arms there. He is setting rams now though, so that's kind of a problem. We're trying to make more production, get our own gulams out. We need something tanky with this against this many men-at-arms. It's nice to give your crossbows some help there, but we didn't actually end up really needing it so much. Yellow kind of got destroyed here. He did send a few units around the side to annoy us, but for the most part, obviously, like I mentioned before, we even got a few cannoneers, I think, from the age up from military wing, as well as a ton of crossbows. We're gonna be fine. So let's take a look at what's going on now. I think yellow's still on. He's got a lot of fishing boats coming across, infringing on red's territory. Red has a ton of explosive junks. Wow, he's just going insane here. But what we really need to secure is this kill on yellow, right? Like we really need this supply. To get us in a winning positioning. It's Reno Red strong. He's got kill, at least one kill. I think, yeah, just one kill for now. But we do need to get out on the map. I don't know why I'm not moving out right now. I think I kind of got sidetracked by just making sure I was worried about his next wave. Like I was thinking he was going to have a ton of units to reinforce this, but he actually didn't. So a little bit of a mistake here on my part, not just moving out immediately. I'm also worried about the kings on water here. I know he could build a transport ship, and he actually, I think, has one. No, never mind. He doesn't have one, but he could get one and feed his king to somebody else quite easily. So I'm just trying to make sure I have enough cavalry here to just make sure that I can get the king snipe real easily. But we do notice that he's on Swabia now, and that's going to be a problem. Unfortunately, it looks like red is exploding right into yellow here with all the junk, all the explosive junks. The king is coming here, but I'm also pushing into yellow. So yellow has decided to hold his king right here, and we'll have to see. We should have done a king check here, I think. It's a bit of a mistake. You know, not getting eyes on this king right away. Red is already scouting, and yellow's deciding to move. He realized maybe he wants to feed to red, or he's trying to feed. Oh, red deleted. Red blew up. Red exploded all of his his junks right there, right before the king was fed to him. But I think he has eyes on the king faster than I do. Yeah, and also the king is trying to be fed to red, I think, as well, it seems. And he does see it now, and he's going to get there just a tad. Now, I've also noticed it, but a little bit too late, and red has claimed it. So now the problem here is that we're down supply against red. So my objective in this game now, of course, is to rally the pink player to my side, right? We need pink's help in order to kill red. The problem with that is that pink is going to decide here that he wants to take the sacred sites. He mentioned this later, but he was at only 200 supply, and he was worried about that. Maybe he didn't realize that I was also only 250. So he still, if he allies with me, he still has a chance against red. Red even gets a third kill. I'm not sure where this kill came from. I think a player must have left earlier on in the game. I was hoping to catch that one because I wasn't sure whose that was. But I think maybe one of the players, like maybe green, yeah, it looks like blue left really early on in the game at H1, as well as orange. So it's possible that one of those kings was found by red. I don't know where it was though. But now he's at 350, so he's 100 up on me. So I really need pink's help here. However, that's as we're about to find out, pink has other plans for himself. Pink probably not the wisest player. He's basically dooming himself, right? At 200 supply against a 350 and a 250, you have zero chance of taking sacred sites and winning, right? Like there's just no way. He does, however, have a lot. What he does have in his arsenal here is he has 5 relics this whole time. So that is going to give him a lot of gold. He's going to have a lot of siege, and he's going to get a lot of keeps with the. Actually, he's Japanese. I don't think he gets tithe runs. Let's take a look at his stone guy. He somehow had a lot of stone. He's building all these keeps. I don't think he's getting. Oh, I guess maybe you get tithe runs for free. I don't know how it works with Japanese, because he is getting golden. Okay, no, there you go. He is on stone. He's mining stone. But maybe you do get some stone income. Oh, right, when you're mining gold, that's what it is. He's mining gold, so he's getting stone. That's right, my mistake. So he does actually have quite a formidable defense here. A lot of castles, a lot of keeps. But the problem is now I have to fight pink, right? I wanted to fight red. I knew we needed to ally against red to kill him. But you know, here we are, and we're gonna have to fight pink instead, right? So, all right, guys, welcome back. Sorry, we had to split this one into 2 parts, but we're back in the game, and I wanted to talk more about, before we continue on, I want to talk more about the thing I mentioned earlier with the trash units being really strong. Obviously, we already talked about the you know, the camel archer being stronger for Abbasid because it doesn't require any gold compared to like Ayyubid camel archers or Mongols or any of those Rus, stuff like that. But there's a lot of other things here that are making Abbasid trash units a lot stronger. One is you've got your spearmen have a double range, attack range. You've got at your House of Wisdom, there's going to be a bunch of upgrades here. Obviously, we got health of infantry is stronger, so our spearmen and and all of our ranged units that are not mounted are going to be having more health. We've got our archers with the attack speed increase, which is really nice, kind of like an English attack speed upgrade, but maybe even better. In some cases, I think it got nerfed pretty heavily for English, so I'm not sure what the math is there, but we've also got some very important stuff here. We've got camels increase the armor of nearby infantry by 2, which is amazing. So if we go into the game here and click on our camels, we'll see so there's the armor, and they also have because they're camels, enemy horses, the cavalry does 20% less damage whenever camels are nearby. So there's a lot of a lot of great things here for Abbasid without using gold. As you can see, there's just really strong, really amazing, and it's actually playing to our advantage in this game a bit because we don't have much gold access at all. Most of the gold spawn on this side of the map. But let's take a quick moment to appreciate this gigantic mountain range, probably the biggest mountain range I've ever seen in an FFA game before. You know, this one's pretty big too, but you know, I'll come into play later as I haven't scouted any of that yet. As you can see, always scout, guys. I know I can't say this enough, but scouting is very important. And this is, you know, I mean, it's tough. We're in a really tight spot. There's not a lot we can do because of the position Pink decided to take in this game. Sometimes there's not really anything that can be done. We're going to try our best, though. Pink is actually destroying our army because he has a lot of gold. His units are much more powerful with the Rebalquins and stuff like that. We have a supply advantage for us, so with Red's help, we can definitely wear him down and take the Sacred. But my thoughts are I really want to just make sure that I want to kill Pink. I want to make sure that I get the king here because I already, even getting the king, I don't think I can beat Red, right? There's probably no way. But obviously I need to get that king to even try, right? Because he's got 100 pop up on me. Let's take a look at Red's position here. So I checked the replay again, guys, and there was a king that was just idle out here. I think that's the kill that Red got. Someone left right in the beginning of the game. I don't see a lot of... Okay, there's one relic here. So he doesn't actually have that many relics, but the thing is... let's take a look at what he's actually got. He's got 1,500 gold income. He's still mining gold, so he's doing pretty well for himself. He's got the Buddhist monk, right? He's got the Temple of Equality. So he can get free gold income. He doesn't have to worry about gold, actually. So that's going to come into play for sure, especially with this population. Sometimes it's tough using this, using those monks because they take up a lot of population. But when you have, 350 pop, it's kind of mitigates that a lot, right? So you can just get your free gold income. So now this is what I'm talking about, guys. I clicked into the base. I wanted to try to get to his king. I was thinking I was gonna have to blow this down, so I was sending some rams, but I found out, my units discovered for themselves that there's a way in, but the fact that they went all the way around here, because I clicked on his king, on his town center, when I scanned it, I knew that there was a hole, probably a hole, because of the way the path my units took to get there. If there hadn't been one, they probably just would have got stuck against the wall here, right? So I grouped them all up, we sent them in. This is what you really need to do, I mean, obviously there's only a minute or two left on this sacred site, but I know we've got that. I'm not worried about it. I just want to make sure that I get the king kill here, right? And unfortunately, horse archers aren't the best at, mowing down a shogunate castle of all things, but we do have a lot. We have some spears too here, so we will have at least some torch damage there. We do have the the upgrade on the horse archers as well, so they do a little bit of torch with their fire arrows. And fortunately for us, he moved his king into a much weaker building. If he'd kept it in here, it would have been actually quite a bit harder for me to kill his king. But he moved it to his keep, so we were able to pick up the kill and get us up to 300. The problem now is, obviously, I mentioned that we don't really need gold, but of course you want to have it, right? I would love to have some better units. It's just that I can get by without him. But the problem here is we're still down 50 supply against Red. And he's got much better gold than us. So he's going to have much better army composition, obviously. So, that's how it's going to play out here. My really only hope is to go for a snipe. But like I said, I haven't scouted a lot of this map yet. I don't realize how bad that situation is over here. So let's take a look at Red's base. So his king is actually, I believe, up here, right? And one of his... Yeah, it's an expansion, so I thought it was weak. But you can see there's like no path through here. There's, yeah, absolutely no path up through there. The only path into this, I think. Okay. Eventually, if he chops through, there will be one maybe up here. But it's really weird. Yeah, there's more chop through required. So yeah, this isn't going through. I don't even know if you can get through all this, but maybe there's a way if you chop through enough. But there's obviously no time for that. The only way I can really get through his base is this direction. But you can see he's building even more walls. He's just going crazy with the walls. and we're not really going to have really any opportunity here to win the game. It's kind of unfortunate. It just came down to what Pink decided to do, really. Our really only shot there was the Pink allied with us to fight Red together, and we brought him down together. But he didn't. So, you know, we are trying our best here. Obviously, we're trying to break through, but you can see the power of all these mangonels with the Shogunate, with these castles here. Not Shogunate, just regular castles. But yeah, we just really can't break through here. There's just not a lot we can do, unfortunately, with our position here. We just lost too many units. We went up to about probably not enough workers. We actually lost some, I think, fighting, trying to build production up here. But with 300 supply, you're gonna want like you know, 160 workers at least, maybe 180 or more. It just depends on how you want to play, really. If you want to bank a bunch of resources, or if you want to have a strong army. Obviously, I need a really strong army to fight here, so I can't afford to make more workers at this point of the game with being on the clock here. But you can just see it's not really going to matter much. Our opponent he still has a huge pop advantage. He's got more workers, more income, more resources banked, bigger army supply. Everything's just bigger, right? So the only thing that's comparable, I guess, is our military size is the same. The problem, however, is I'm just going for a king snipe here because I realize I can't fight this. There's just the units aren't strong enough here. But of course, as I mentioned, I didn't scout, and even this hole was nothing here. There was no way through. My units just got stuck, and now I'm just trying to flank him on hitting him from two different sides. But it's kind of working. We're getting some. We're knocking down these castles, but you can just see that once he focuses on our siege there, even these production buildings aren't going to really impact anything. We should have probably just moved all the units up here to fight together with this army. But either way, it's not really going to make a huge difference. We're getting pushed back completely. This is just, and he's re-walled even, so unfortunately this is just over for us. But hopefully you guys learned a lot about how to play Abbasid, obviously one of the strongest civs in FFA, so if you have any questions, this is one of my the civs I have the most experience with in all facets of the game, so let me know if you have anything that you want me to cover on that. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this, how to play. Catch you in the next one. Peace.